Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Corner. Welcome to Art Regner's video blog for FoxSportsDetroit.com. And the Red Wings had a great weekend, and I think what we're seeing now from Detroit is how this season is going to play itself out. They're up and down, and depending on how they're played at the end of the season probably is going to determine whether or not they're going to make the playoffs or not. Currently, the Red Wings are 9-7-3. They have 21 points, and they're in 5th place in the Western Conference. This week, they find themselves on the West Coast for the first time this season. They play back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday against the defending Stanley Cup champion Los Angeles Kings, and then they play the San Jose Sharks on Thursday. Then they come home and they play for the next 5 games here at Joe Louis Arena or in Detroit, and then the schedule really does get pretty ugly as they then go to Western Canada beginning on March 13th, and after that time, the Red Wings are going to find themselves on the road a lot. 2 Western Canada trips, 1 more to the West Coast, and then a trip to Phoenix and Colorado. So if they're going to make a move and try to establish themselves, now is probably the time to do it. They still haven't scored a power play goal on the road. There were a lot of things that happened which were good yesterday when they beat the Vancouver Canucks 8-3. Even though Roberto Luongo is one of my fantasy goalies, and geez, 8 goals surely didn't help, but it helped me out. But hey, I'll take it. It was good for the Red Wings. But with that said, the power play seemed to and the Red Wings had puck luck, and the power play seemed to catch a little bit of fire. So where does this leave Detroit? Well, I would say this. Number one, I do not think that they should trade one of their prospects to make a push for the playoffs this year. If they make it, fine. If they don't, all they have to do is make it. And if they do make it, anything can happen. I think Jimmy Howard has really upped his game and has played better. It was an impressive shutout. And I think Jimmy really now knows and understands that he is going to have to be exceptional for the Red Wings to really do anything significant this season. Goal scoring is still a problem. However, I do want to talk about maybe another diamond in the rough or a couple of guys that I have been impressed with, and one is pretty obvious, and that is Damian Brunner. He has 10 goals, leads the team, 6 assists, 16 points. He's a -2. He has 2 power play goals on the season. Because he is 26 years old, he can't win the Rookie of the Year, but Brunner seems to be a guy that the Red Wings, much like Datsuk and Zetterberg, may have lucked out on a bit. I mean, they were fortunate, but what makes the Red Wings so good, in this case Mike Babcock, who saw him at the World Championships last year, is that they're able to judge talent, and they have a pretty good eye for it, and Brunner has probably exceeded expectations, but he appears to be a guy who has a nose for the net and has his head on right, and is probably going to be a low-maintenance player that the Red Wings love so much. So Damian Brunner could be a guy that could make this transition a lot easier and seamlessly as to what I thought a couple of days ago. I'm really pretty impressed by him. He's kind of a quiet assassin, if you will. You don't hear from him, and then bam, 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 he's right there, and has a great shot, is accurate, and as I said, has a nose for the net. Another guy that I'm impressed with is Thomas Tatar. In 11 games played, he has 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists, 1 on the power play. He is even. He's not a plus or minus player at this point. I think Tatar's time has come. And I think that they might as well just leave him here in Detroit. He scored some very pretty goals. He looks pretty good. And so I think that if there is a silver lining to this season thus far, even though I think it's going to be a roller coaster ride, it's that I think that Brunner and Tatar are proven that they are everyday players. I still like Filppula to get going a little bit. I think Jordan Tutu has added a dimension that we haven't seen here in Detroit in a long time. However, I do think that the key is that Datsuk and Zetterberg have to be Datsuk and Zetterberg. They have to start playing on the road. They have to play better on the road. I think they're 2-3-1 or something on the road right now. Obviously, that's not great, but they haven't played a lot of road games, so the road is going to determine a lot about what the Red Wings are going to do this season. That's pretty obvious. However, with the Brunner and Tatar, I think they found 2 young kids. Joakim Anderson looks okay too, but let this thing play out. If I were the Red Wings, let's see what they do. Let's see how they do on the road. If a deal needs to be made at the trade deadline, then make that deal. But right now, I'm happy with going some of the young kids, getting some of the injured players back, and I think that the Red Wings could make a push. I wouldn't mortgage the future, but I really do think that Brunner and Tatar are welcome additions. And so we'll wait and see. It all begins in Los Angeles on Wednesday. We'll get an idea of how they are on the road. Then they come back for 4 or 5 at home, and then it's Road City for the Detroit Red Wings. Hopefully that they can kind of stabilize themselves and get back to playing more consistently and more cohesion on that team and winning more games than being 9-7-3, which they are right now. So that'll do it. That's my little rambling there on the Detroit Red Wings, what I think is going to happen. I mean, this is big. I mean, these 2 road tests and then 4 out of 5 at home, I think could determine exactly what type of season and what type of moves the Red Wings may make at the trade deadline. That'll do it. Have a safe and pleasant one, everyone. I'm Art Regner for Fox Sports Detroit. Take care.